Emily Dickinson, a great student of nature. She liked going on long walks on her father's field and around her house. They sort of lived in town, but they are on the outskirts of town. She had a Newfoundland dog, great big black dog that would go with her. A bird came down the walk. He did not know I saw. He bit an angleworm in halves and ate the fellow raw. So this is quite a sight, right? This is violence. If you're the worm, you're dead, right? I always like to say, the early bird gets the worm. The early worm gets eaten. Anyway, and then, this is the bird, and then he drank a dew from a convenient grass, and then hopped sideways to the wall to let a beetle pass. So this is interesting, right? The bird eats a worm like it's nothing. The worm's dead. Then the beetle, well, the bird's not interested in the beetle, right? Whether it doesn't like beetles or, hey, it's full, it just ate a worm. And it just drinks some there and the beetle goes by and the beetle isn't, right? So this is sort of like the randomness of life and death in nature. He glanced around with rapid eyes that hurried all abroad, then looked like frightened beads, I thought. He stirred his velvet head. Okay. So the bird's suddenly a little fearful, right? Like, life and death. I just killed a worm, but then the beetle got by. What's going on? Like one in danger, cautious, I offered a crumb. Aha, the bird sensed her, a human, right? And you know how the food chain goes. Little fish, big fish eats the little fish, bigger fish eats that fish. That's the food chain, right? And so the bird is like, oh boy, what's going to get me? But instead, the eye of the poem offers the bird a crumb, right? I offered him a crumb, a bread crumb, and he unrolled his feathers and rode him softer home than oars divide the ocean to silver for a seam, or butterflies off banks of noon leap plashless as they swim. That poem, up until the last 6 lines, is very da 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 da. Those last 6 lines just, right? Once she offers the bird a crumb, a charitable act, and doesn't eat it, kill it, like the bird did to the worm, the bird flies off beautifully, right? So it's very interesting. And the butterflies, right? Caterpillars become butterflies. A metamorphosis can happen when an act of charity takes place here, is what she's implying. So bird came down the walk. Again, a good example of a poem, like I'm always saying. Not only do you have to know the words, you have to know what's happening. So this poem, you have to really follow what's happening. And I think we did a good job with that.